Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome again, grade 12 students. Today we are going to do grammar lesson 10 part 3, get passives. We can use get instead of be to form the passive, get followed by the past participle. So the basic rule for the passive, that the helping verb must be followed by a past participle, still holds. After get, we use the past participle. After be, we use the past participle to make an active sentence passive. Here are some examples with both the get passive and the be passive. Let's see. Get passive, the cats got fed this morning. Be passive, the cats were fed this morning. Get passive, they lost because they got outsmarted. Be passive, they lost because they were outsmarted. Get passive, Theo got selected for the program. Be passive, Theo was selected for the program. Even though get is used as a passive helping verb, get cannot be used to form questions and negatives in the same way that be can. For example, the cats got fed this morning. Can we begin the question with get as we do with was, for example? No. We need a helping verb. We use did because got is in the past here. Did the cats get fed this morning? The cats didn't get fed this morning. So we can't use the verb get to ask a question or to form a negative. Another example, the cats were fed this morning, using verb to be this time. As you can see, we can use were to begin a question or before not to form the negative form. The difference between the be passive and the get passive is that be is a helping verb that can form questions and negatives, as we said, without any additional verb. However, get is not a helping verb, so it requires the additional helping verb as we did with the word did. While the get and passive are interchangeable in some cases, there are many cases in which they cannot be interchanged. The biggest difference is in degree of formality. Get is less formal. Verb to be is more formal. Look at this example. Abraham Lincoln got assassinated in 1865. So you can't read this sentence in any book. Instead, we would find the be passive. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in 1865. This is more formal. Get passive have idiosyncratic uses and restrictions, probably a result of their highly colloquial, even slangy nature. For example, a study of get passives found that 95% of the time the passive was used without the agent by phrase. So after get, 95% we don't see by. Get passives are most likely to be used with dynamic verbs, action verbs, verbs that have a strong sense of action or decisive activity. For example, I got injured. Verb injure is a dynamic verb. I got caught. Verb catch is a dynamic verb. She got assigned to a new project. Verb assign is a dynamic verb. Get passives are not used much with non-dynamic verbs. Look at these examples. John hasn't gotten seen. As you can see, verb see is not a dynamic verb. There is no action. The accident got photographed right after it happened. The noise got heard. So photographed, heard, seen are not dynamic verbs. This is why these sentences are ungrammatical. The same sentences are completely grammatical if the be passive is used instead of the get passive. John wasn't seen for weeks. It's okay. The accident was photographed and the noise was heard. Exercise 10 5 or point 5. Each of the following sentences contains a be passive in bold. Replace the be passive with the corresponding get passive unless the get passive is used with a non-dynamic verb. For example, we all were badly bitten. Can we replace were with got here? Yes, it's grammatical because the verb bite is a dynamic verb. Number 1. I was selected to give the introduction. Can we say I got selected to give the introduction? Yes. Select is a dynamic verb. Last year's mistakes were avoided this year. Can we say got avoided? When you avoid someone, you just avoid. You don't do any action. So it's ungrammatical to replace were with get or got. All of us were sunburned on the camping trip. All of us got sunburned. Yes, it's grammatical. They were pulled out of the ditch by a tow truck. They got pulled. Yes, pull is an action verb. They were permitted. Got permitted. It's not grammatical because permit is not an action verb. Where all of this or the item sold did, we can ask it, we can put get, but get is not a question word. So did all the items get sold, and so on. Thank you very much. This is the end of the passive lesson. Lesson 11 is the structure of adjective clauses. Next time, inshallah, we're going to do it. Thank you.